Patience is not passive waiting. Passively waiting is laziness. According to Leo Tolstoy, patience is keep going how hard and slow it is, and just waiting. Even if you have any goal, just waiting for that goal. But in that waiting, you should not stop your keep going. You should not sit idle. That is the main point. What Leo Tolstoy is trying to convey. Sitting idle is the sign of laziness. Now you will see many people that we are patient and they are sitting idle. This is not patience, this is their laziness. And they are so shrewd that in the name of patience, they have found justification for their laziness. Now, laziness and patience are totally two different things. For example, if you are patient, you are waiting, still their thoughts arise in you that no, still something I can do, that this inner voice is coming inside you, or this thought is coming inside you, still I can do something. But you are suppressing that voice and you are just sitting idle. This is laziness. This is not the patience. Patience is you have not achieved your goal, you have not reached a point, but still you are doing whatever is possible on your part. You are giving your best, and still after giving your best, you are unable to reach, you are unable to achieve the goal. Then in that case you can do nothing but wait. Now this waiting, I say patience. This is the difference between patience and laziness. A lazy person will always find excuses to procrastinate his or her work. A lazy person. I was in my college days when I was having my general class test. Now, some people in my class, they used to say that this excuse or that excuse, and they want to postpone it to some later date. I was prepared. I was active in my classrooms. I was studying at home also. So I was ready for the general class test, but other classmates were not ready. And I see their daily life very closely because we live together. They were neither regular in classes nor they were used to study after classes. They were just wasting their time in going here and there, rather utilizing that time into studies. Now that is their choice, their life, where to utilize their own time. But in respect of studies, they haven't utilized any amount of time in their studies. Therefore, they say excuse for postponing the general class test, as if they can mug up the whole portion for the GCT in one day. Now, this is the example of laziness. Laziness is what is your appointed work means for a student. His appointed work is to study and to perform well in exams, or to give exams, or to appear in exams, not to postpone it. This is the appointed work of a student. Now, appointed work may differ from person to person, from his age to age, from country to country, from place to place. For a businessman, appointed work is like going to his shop or factory, maintaining accounts regularly, and so many things. Every person has his appointed work in this social system. Therefore, this society is running because most of the people are doing their appointed work. Soldier is doing his appointed work for guarding the borders, and so many things. So many people are doing their appointed work. Laziness is not doing your appointed work, rather utilize that time in some other things. There are some people, in my experience, students only, they don't used to study, they used to eat. They are foodie. They go for 10-20 kilometers for having a special meal at some designated place. Now this is the example of laziness. Now you would say that he is going to 20 kilometers far at a place. How you can say him lazy? He is not idle, he is doing some work, at least he is going, he is moving. No. Laziness is not doing your work, appointed work, rather doing some other work. Now you got my point. And even if you are doing other works, now I understand, apart from appointed work there are many other works, but in doing that other work you are not harming your appointed work. You are not killing time for your appointed work. You have a designated time for your other works, for your leisures. But when that other works consume more time and kill your time for the appointed work, this is known as laziness. This is not the patience. Patience is very subtle thing. Patience is very fine thing to understand. Patience is the quality which is found in the well organized person. Now those friends of mine in my college days who used to postpone the general class test, how they would study in one day? They don't sleep whole night. they just study. Now in this case you will say that they are doing their appointed work. For a student, they are studying whole night. Okay, but what about the sleep? Now sleep is the appointed work of not only student, is of every human being. A good healthy sleep. Now tell me, what about good healthy sleep, which is appointed work of every person, every human being, irrespective of his or her occupation, whether he or she is a student, businessman, businesswoman, engineer, prime minister, etc. It is very difficult for an ordinary person to judge that his act is going towards laziness or he is doing his appointed work with patience. Means you are studying. Now there are many students who used to study, but they don't study with waiting, they want on the spot result. No, they used to study but with waiting. With waiting that something would come, some goal would come, some result would come. They don't have any hastiness, they are not restless. They are just preparing for their exams and they are appearing in it. This is known as patience. And this is true for every other person. A soldier is guarding his border with patience. With activity, with each step he is taking on the earth actively, consciously. This is known as patience. As the Leo Tolstoy has said, I have said earlier, how hard it is, how slow it is. Just keep moving. Just be active. Just be conscious on your each step. And you will find the moment you are taking your each step consciously, you're doing your activity mindfully, there arises patience automatically in you, the sense of waiting. Now waiting for what? That is also a big question, but there is a feeling of waiting, emotion of waiting inside you. And you can wait for years if you do your every work consciously. If you do your every work mindfully. And laziness is just the opposite. You can not even wait for a moment if you are lazy. If you are doing the other works of your pleasure, pleasure is something which is for very short moments. Pleasure is very, very short. I say, if you really want the pleasure, then search for that pleasure which is forever. Which is forever. You don't have to run again for that pleasure. That pleasure you will find. But this is not the case. For that search also, they requires patience, waiting. They requires hard work. Therefore, most of the people prefer for pleasure, short-term pleasure. The wise people prefer for pleasure or happiness forever. Forever. Subscribe if you find this video helpful and share this video.